of drugs in this country so that they don't have to do that.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll move on to student loans. Ms. Ring, students have massive tuition and education costs. How can our government help to ensure that the next generation of high school students have reasonable tuition costs and are not burdened with lifelong debt beginning at such an early age?
This is a crisis that we have to face as a nation. We have young people who are starting off their lives in debt, who can't afford to buy homes, who can't afford to pay their bills.
Thank you for joining us on our 8 o'clock digital update tonight. I'm Wright Gazaway here with this update. We are live right now on our website, as well as our app and our social media pages. Thank you so much for joining us. Election Day is less than 2 weeks away, and that means it's crunch time as candidates make final pushes for votes. Happening right now, WTOC is joining the League of Women Voters, Coastal Georgia, to make sure everyone is well informed ahead of Election Day. A forum between the candidates running to represent you in the 1st Congressional District is happening right now. They are getting started at the Coastal Georgia Center on Fahm Street. That is here in Savannah. That is Democratic challenger Lisa Ring. She is facing off against Republican Representative Buddy Carter there on the left. Our Dawn Baker is serving as the moderator. The entire forum is live streaming right now on WTOC.com, as well as our Roku and Amazon Fire. We are a few weeks away from a somber anniversary in our nation's history. A shooter took the life of President John F. Kennedy more than a half-century ago. A local woman now wants to share historic accounts of that tragedy with her adopted community. Bureau Chief Dow Kennedy shows us what she has and why others might want to experience it.
1,100 miles separate Pembroke, Georgia and Boston, Massachusetts, the home state of President John F. Kennedy. His assassination chronicled in the papers of that day. They're now on display here at the Pembroke Library. Patricia Barbie was in school in 1963 when Kennedy's death shook Boston and the rest of the country. Her mother bought copies of the local papers to preserve their accounts of the tragedy. She put them in this bag but never opened them again. Years later, Barbie discovered the treasure. She's loaned them to libraries before to help remember the November assassination. She's now signed them over to the library here for them to share the photos, headlines, and the emotions behind them during some of our darkest days.
I want them to understand they're looking at American history that was recorded in lifetime. This wasn't something that someone printed 5 years later or 15 years later.
She wants to share these period pieces with generations to come. The papers will be under glass and you can see them there, but not leafing through them and reading them anytime the library crew touches them. They'll be using these gloves to help preserve this piece of history. In Pembroke, Dow Kennedy, WTOC News.
Opening statements were held today in the Savannah trial involving 2 murders alleging conspiracy and gang affiliation. 5 men are facing charges, 3 connected by police to the Rebecca Foley murder in 2013. Investigators tied the other 2 to the 2015 murder of James Pastures. The first day of evidence wrapped up today. Sean Evans has more.
Chief Assistant District Attorney Matt Breeden led off with leading jurors through the hierarchy and complexities of the Bloods gang, the criminal organization all 5 defendants are allegedly a part of. The state contends it was that alleged affiliation and activity that led to the armed robbery turned deadly shooting of Rebecca Foley in 2013 and eventually the 2015 murder of James Pastures.
What you really have to pay attention to, if you follow 2 simple things, you can see all of the evidence, the gang and the gun. If you follow the people who are associated to the gang, when they have the gun and when they used it, in addition to what they're saying, you get all of them linked to each and every crime.
When it was the defense's turn to address the jury in the opening statements, there was a clear attempt to separate clients from at least one of the 2 crimes. One attorney noted how much information the state presented in the opening statement, saying it was the longest he had ever seen.
We got 2 things here. We got the murder of Rebecca Foley, we got the murder of James Pastures 2 years later. Why are these being tried together? What's the nexus here? Why is that? And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I think, and I believe the evidence will show, the state's intention here is to blind you and have you look at the forest and get overwhelmed by the number of trees and ignore each individual tree.
One consistent thing we heard today from those defense attorneys was a reminder for jurors that what the state presented in opening statements was not evidence, and to only consider what is said on the stand and look at evidence admitted over the course of the next few days. Sean Evans will have continuing coverage of that trial for us. We're taking another live look right now at the forum between Representative Buddy Carter and Democratic challenger Lisa Ring, the 2 candidates running to represent the 1st Congressional District of Georgia in the U.S. House of Representatives. You can watch the forum streaming live right now on WTOC.com as well as our Roku app. Jamie will have a look at your forecast tonight at 9 o'clock, and we'll be back with another news update at 10 o'clock. Have a great night.